then she could like expedite the thing. Because the when it comes to making money from my shows, essentially, the money goes to the gallery, and I have my own source of income. So all the money goes to the gallery in order to basically keep it operational, keep it open, mainly pay the rent, utilities, and insurance, etc. So that's kind of important that I do sell, because each year I have to come up with an X amount of dollars in order to keep this space operational. So far so good. I've been having shows, but one show didn't sell, basically a presentation. That was the first show that you videotaped. That was just to take a deep exploration into installation. Because I always wanted to do installation, but installation essentially is for museums, why they pay a certain fee in order to have the installation put in. And most of the cases, it's up to the gallery to be able to get the museums come in to actually purchase a show or to rent or lease a show. But since this gallery is so new to the system, it's like at least I have an opportunity to do it. But as far as having direct access to the institution, she have yet to establish that. So I'm on her roster.
What about the gallery with the black lady owner
Oh,
over there?
June Kelly. This is my third, fourth show with June Kelly.
She's famous?
Yeah, the first time I had a show there was like, I was really desperate. That was in 1996. Because I had to leave here in order for the space to be renovated. And I was paying very cheap rent and my overhead was very, very low. And I realized that all of that was going to change. Everything's going to go vertical economically, and how was I going to be able to afford it? Because I had my own little system in place. So when I left here, I had no real plans of coming back. I figured, okay, I'm going to retire. This is the end of it. I'm out of it. And over the other space, temporary space I was in, I figured I would create a body of work and use the body of work basically to support myself. So I was over the temporary space, a couple of stores up, for about 3 years. And during that time, there was a lot of incidents that happened that kind of like said that something was going on in the neighborhood, because the neighborhood people began to act rather strange towards me. I had a nice plate glass sign that was hand painted on the window, and I told the people who was renovating that I wanted the glass, just for historical sake. So word went around that I wasn't going to be able to come back to this space. So I kind of like pass it off. And then the pressure began to be applied to me in terms of coming back. So when I came back, there was this major rent, there was this major insurance thing, and I had no money. So I had to basically put together a show for June Kelly, put some of my best work up on the wall, perfectly framed. And fortunately, I got a big chunk of money in order to get started here again. In the meantime, it got more and more ridiculous in terms of some of the people in the neighborhood. Then I realized they really wanted this space here for themselves. So I figured, I'm not going to give it to them. So I just made a stand and decided to go to work very hard every day, put bodies of work together while at the same time hustling different photographic jobs. And subsequently, by the year 2000, I had pretty well gotten myself back together where I really didn't have to hustle as much. I continued to show the work. Otherwise, I'm really not interested in seriously showing. I'm more interested in producing, because what I'm trying to do now is fine-tune my printing abilities, mainly by going back to all the earlier things that I printed and making them better, and also getting a little bit deeper into what I call installation work. So I'm just I've yet to fine tune the first show that I had at Anthem Gallery because it was like a little raggedy on the edges, but yet in all, it showed a lot of possibilities. And in the June Kelly thing, when the show came up for June Kelly, I really wasn't prepared for the show. That show was supposed to take place either in March and later on in the year because I found out that I had an artist residence program that I was invited to do. So I figured it'd be excellent to be able to put together a nice printing show whereby I had all the proper equipment to actually make some real serious master prints and then have a show in our gallery. But apparently she needed somebody to put in for January. So she approached me in early December about having a show in January. So I was ready to have a show, but I was thinking, well, what kind of PR can she possibly do? What kind of... So I was concerned about that. Then the kind of show I wanted to have was the same show I had down at the Anthem Gallery, which actually showed a large body of work, which basically went across the 44 years of what I've been doing over that period of time. And she kind of like just went ballistics over the idea of doing this kind of presentation. Because first of all, she said she didn't want all these holes in her wall. She had a very important show coming up. Can you imagine? So I wasn't important, I was just a fill. So, I might as well go along with it. So I went along with it. She carefully selected and edited the work out that she wanted to show. And I took the work over there, and she brought this professional frame hanger in to look at my presentation. I tried to explain to him what the idea was. And naturally, he works for her, so he's not going to do what I want to do. So, took the photographs over there, and they got out Photocorn, and they stuck the photographs up on the wall. Completely destroyed what I wanted to do. Instead, the photographs looked like a cheap presentation of something that was possibly interesting. So the feedback I got that the people who basically was interested in buying is not interested because it's not framed and well presented. Say something about, their thinking. Because they're not really, what can I say? It was just a frustrating show. So I don't tell too many people about that show. That's over June Kelly's. It's not what I want to do. In fact, that's the second time she actually screwed up a presentation of mine. The other show I had was about patchworks, whereby I spent pretty close to 4 months developing up the show. And then once I got over there, the whole of the PR program was so raggedy, very few people have really understood what I was doing. She wanted to dominate the PR program, and she had no idea about basically the process I was working in terms of how to present it. She had her own little narrow view of, I guess she don't really, she don't really like me, but she realized that I'm kind of like in there, but so she has to kind of like hold on to me. And fortunately, Anthem Gallery kind of like showed up and gave me the opportunity to really, truly express what I'm capable of actually doing. And the space and the Anthem Gallery is like just well suited for my idea by being a little bit impersonal and kind of hidden away. So people who come down there can really appreciate it because it's quiet and me. If I poured something in the eye, I'd say, keep your eye open.
I try to remember that.
So last night I had to figure out what I want to put in frames. And today, I always wanted to tone prints. I wasn't sure about whether or not the tone would work, whether it should work. So this is the first time I used blue toner. And I decided to mix some up because those are the ones I wanted to try and see whether or not it would look good. So I mixed the toner and put it in the tray and got everything all set up, not even organized. And I'm totally unorganized. Things are falling all over the place. I was afraid the toner spilled on the floor. spill all over my clothes, and that would be the end of the day. Unfortunately, it didn't spill. So the first print I put in there, wow, perfect. What are the other ones? So I had to find the right kind of prints to tone. Mainly things with abstract subject names. So I toned about 10 prints. And after I toned them, I said, oh, what am I going to hang them? I have nothing to hang them with. All the clothespins are here. Another problem. I figured out how to just stack them so they would stick together. Then I went and had breakfast with my daughter. She's getting ready to take a Regents test for the local Monday. Sitting down with her at breakfast, kind of a relaxing experience. So I got there first and ordered her bacon and lettuce tomato sandwich. I had a regular breakfast. Home fries, sausage, meat sausage, and toast.